Hey, hey, I hope all is well. This is Michael Isreal here with Real TV. Sponsored by Spreaker Radio, where downloads are free and available. Um, Today's show is going to be called Health is Wealth. I'm going to try my best to make it quick. I'll try to keep it under 10 minutes. But I want to talk about health mainly because I know it's a lot of freshness in the air. Many of you may have gym memberships that you want to get, vitamins, and with our holy Passover coming up soon, March 30th through April 7th, it's good that we get our tempo in order so we can have a very fun and happy spiritual celebration. So that's good. That's good. And I want to talk about health, and we're going to get more into it. It's not so much about exercising, which is important. It's about what colors are you eating? What colors are you eating? I'll make sense of it a little bit later in the show, but I do want to cover some not on the mainstream news topics. There's a lot of crazy stuff that's been going on, so I do want to give you my take on what's what. Not all of it, but I'll give you a few slides. And also, I do want to talk a little bit about the movie Bright. I'm working on a collection that I want you all to see that has a lot of esoteric information inside. Not so much the fact that black people are representations of the orcs. It's deeper than that. There's a lot of things in this next Netflix film that you may have missed. But most importantly, we got to get this show started. And we're going to come back with some slides of not on the mainstream news. And then we're going to talk about why health is wealth, all right? Oh, yeah. Real TV, baby. You know how we do. Be sure to follow me on Spreaker.com, where free downloads are available. Hope your day's going good. Blessings to you, by the way. Cut the music. All right. So, again, not on the mainstream news. We're going to go ahead and get this thing started. We're almost to the brink of 10 minutes, so I want to make this clean and quick. And, yeah. So, we know that we're being shown a lot of the signs of the times right now. Over in Honduras in the Caribbeans, there was a 7.6 earthquake. And these earthquakes are all over the place right now. All over the place. So they had a tsunami warning, but I want to say that that tsunami didn't come to pass. But these earthquakes are coming from left to right. There's another one just last week in San Jose. But I'm sure California gets small shakes here and there. But hey, this is just the brink. And again, this with this whole blood moon that's coming, January 25th, this is another sign of the time. Remember, the Most High said that He uses the stars and the moon and the sun as His calendar. Okay, all right. So not on the mainstream news, body parts of 20 horses found in Florida sparks talk of rituals. A woman on a walk to feed stray dogs made a gruesome discovery early Wednesday alongside a road in South Florida, where she found remains of nearly 2 dozen dead horses. I don't know if you caught the first part. She was walking, feeding stray dogs. Now you see that? You can't even feed a poor person. You can't give them a sandwich. You can't give them a PB&J. They'll lock you up for that. But yet you can feed stray dogs. You can go and get a van, suit your van up, and go collect them off the street and take them to the Humane Society. And they won't let you bring them into your house. You know, just the other day also, I want to say it was a couple that got arrested for inviting poor people to their homes to wash up and clean and have a hot meal, man. They arrested them, man. But yet, you see where the world is going? But this lady said she saw her chihuahua gnawing on something. And come to find out, it was a leg of a horse. This was down in northwest Miami-Dade County. They say that they're not new to this. Okay. Also, forecasters are warning a possible major winter storm, according to the northeast area of the United States, with rain, freezing rain, ice, sleet, and snow. So it is winter. Just be sure to bundle up. Not on the mainstream news, a pizza chain created by a former Starbucks executive just raised another $73 million. They say this should terrify Domino's and Papa John's. When you look on, I mean, this pizza do look good. Pizza do look in the bomb.com. It's called Mod Pizza. And, yeah, I did hear about the news about Jeff Bezos being one of the richest. They're considering him the richest man of all time in history right now with $2.7 billion. It's a lot of money. But they're not telling you about Mansa Musa, though. They won't tell you about what Mansa Musa had. Over $400 billion in gold. There's no one in history richer than him besides Adam, if you will. Adam had all the animals. He had all the food, vegetables. I mean, nobody was richer than Adam. But no one's richer than the Most High, and no one's richer than Yeshua, right? Okay, let me see what time we're at right now. One sec. Where we at? Okay, man, I wanted to keep this at 10 minutes. Let's try. Let's go. Okay, pink Himalayan salt is getting a lot of rep. Coming from the Business Insider, there's more minerals than regular salt, but that doesn't mean that it's healthier, according to them. I did work for a salt company. I can say that pink Himalayan salt has over 25 different trace minerals and more, meaning it has things like iron, zinc, calcium, and things like that. However, it tastes better. It is good for you, but it doesn't have iodine. You'll need regular table salt for that. But pink Himalayan salt, there's people who mine the salt mines. And when they're in those mines, they come out with better skin. If they have asthma, their lungs are healthier, things like that. Okay, not on the mainstream news. CEO of Jack in the Box is consider replacing cashiers with machines since minimum raises are rising. Not too surprised about that. Not on the mainstream news, Corey Feldman is named in sexual battery report. So here it goes with someone trying to call out these pedophiles. Now they're saying that, according to TMZ, a woman from 2017 saying that Corey Feldman grabbed her booty at a gas station. And now they're trying to lock him up for sexual battery charges. But yet, you know, this is the one that's talking about the Hollywood pedophiles. That's how they do you, man. When you try to get this truth out. Now, in the mainstream news, the Sahara Desert has up to 15 inches of snow. We're talking about one of the places in the world that reaches 135 degrees index during the summer, the hottest summers. I mean, you can't go outside on a regular summer day. It's like 105, 110 degrees. Sahara Desert has 15 inches of snow. Not on the mainstream news, Vermont just legalized recreational marijuana. Not too surprised about that. I mean, every state is going to do it. That's why all this vaping is going on, all this cigarette stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. Not on the mainstream news, everything you need to know about juuling. If you don't know about juuling, it's not Yule like Soulja Boy say in the Superman song. It's Juul. Juuling is a new form of vaping now. It looks like a jump drive, skinny like a pencil. So For you who don't know the game, a lot of kids now, they're doing this. It's not it basically is equivalent to 200 cigarettes in this little thing. And it's stronger, it's more potent, and it's cheap. You can get one for like $50. So kids are buying it like it ain't nothing. And to replace it is like $20 or so, like $10. But anyway, so just watch out for that. You see people with these little jump drive things and smoking them up. It's called juuling. But yeah, so quickly about this health. I'm running over time now. But we're going to finish it up soon. I'm going to go ahead and finish it up because I do want to talk about health. That's the name of the show, Health is Wealth. I'm inspired to do this show today because I overheard a young lady at the job saying how she got robbed. How her and her roommate, somebody literally came in with a gun, but they used somebody knocked on the door. It was a girl that knocked on the door. And the guy answered the door thinking it was like some neighbor. This girl all dressed up nice. Well, that was a smoke screen. He knocked on the door, trying to talk to her, whatever, see who it was. And then next thing you know, like 2 or 3 dudes bum rushed the house with gun. They literally shot the gun. They shot through the ceiling. Bullet went through the apartment above. And they tried to hit the dude with a bullet that answered the door. And the bullet grazed his face. Like it literally like skinned. It literally like took off a piece of skin. He didn't get hit, but it was like a little scab or whatever. I know that's traumatizing, man. It's crazy. And the bullet went through the next floor. So, long story short, they don't know who it was. They didn't see the girl. They saw the girl, but I guess they don't remember what she looked like. And then the guys that came in, they had on ski masks, right? So, long story short, they got kicked out of their apartment, even though it didn't have anything to do with them. Like, they didn't have anything, but I guess under their lease, if something that traumatic happens, then they have to leave. So they got kicked out of their apartment. They just broke the lease. The landlord made them break the lease, broke the lease, and they didn't have any place to go. So now they gotta find. It's crazy. So I say that because it has a little bit to do with health. Sometimes, even though you're in a situation like that, it's a time for sadness. It's a time to worry, but after that moment, it's only so long you could worry. I know, you could be in that point, you don't know who it is or what happened, but it's only so long you could worry. You just got to leave it up to the law enforcement to figure out what it is and, pray and give it to the Most High that He can help you find a place to stay and all of that. Long story short, that made me want to do this show, Health is Wealth, because we can have problems, and sometimes we use our emotion to control, to make us seem like we have a control of a problem, over that problem. You know what I mean? By worrying about it, by stressing out about it. But it's out of our control. So why stress? You know what I mean? We gotta give our burdens to the Most High. Why carry your burden? Just give it to the Most High. That's what he, you know what I mean? When we're weak, He is our strength. We gotta pray. So not only that, but moving into the new year, it's important to have color in your diet. You need to eat more color, not just your proteins and stuff like that. You can get a lot of don't you know you can get proteins from nuts and leafy greens and stuff like that? There's more calcium in spinach and collard greens than a gallon of milk. But they don't tell us that. It has like 400% more nutrients that the body needs. But they don't tell us stuff like that. So I want to inspire you to get more color in your diet versus going to the gym, getting protein mixes. You need to be drinking the right water. And I'm not talking smart waters. I'm not talking about purified waters. You need to drink a good spring water that has a pH that ranges from 7 to 10, and you need to get color in your diet. As far as, a lot of people, I don't want to just say Americans, but a lot of people don't get enough color in their diet. And then you wonder why you have skin issues, why you have testosterone or estrogen imbalances, or headaches and things like that. This whole nation is built off of fast food. There's so many fast food restaurants, you can't count them on one hand. You know what I mean? You can't count them on all your fingers and toes. There's many. So I want to implement color. Okay. You need each different color groups. You need your red, your blues, your greens, your whites, your yellows. You know what I mean? Every color. You need to eat at least two foods from each color group a day. At least two. At least. I mean, I'm not just talking about bananas and lemons from color. Expand. Get you some pineapple, get some peaches or papaya. It's good to eat what's in season. Right now it's winter. It's good to get some carrots, some pumpkin. Get some yams, some sweet potatoes. Make sure you eat two from each color group. From your whites, you can do things like garlic, pears, and onions, and cauliflower is good. It's in the season. Pears is good. Some white button mushrooms, things like that. Make sure you get your greens in. The greens, your classic broccoli, some dandelion root, spinach. I highly recommend, if you get your hands on it, Google search it, Dr. CB's list. Now, I'm not recommending a strict vegetarian diet, but you do need to implement a lot of grains and veggies and fruits. For your blues, your classic blueberries and grapes and blackberries, get you some beets, plums, and reds, of course, your cherries. Strawberries is popular, but get your reds in. Eat two color groups from each group each day to your diet. Not just no protein shake mix. All right? So that's that. We got to reconstruct our temple. Every day is a work in progress. Even if your temple, you feel like you're up to par, you look good, your skin is healthy, you know what I mean, your teeth are fine, everything can always do some touching up. You know what I mean? Internal and externally. We got to keep our mind, not just the food, but who's in your circle? Who are you talking to? What type of music are you listening to? What type of people are you talking to? What type of conversations, you know what I mean? Things like that is your overall diet, not just food, okay? All right, so I did want to talk a little bit about Bright, and with that, I'm working on a breakdown. You know what I mean? That's how I started Real TV. When I originally started, it was I did a breakdown on the movie Get Out. And originally with Real TV, it was all about breaking down the esoteric meaning in movies. Breaking down the real meaning about the movies that are created with reels. Since movies are made and spun on reels, that's one of the reasons why the Real TV interpretation comes from. But the main reason is keeping it real, with all things, keeping it 100% with you all the way. So stay tuned for that. I'm working on that, and it's going to be pretty big. This one, you definitely want to stay in the loop. If you've seen it, this is going to be for you. If you haven't seen it, this is going to be a spoiler alert. So I would recommend that you watch it if you're into that. But I do want to give another recommendation. There's a show called Rotten on Netflix. Huge, huge, huge show that gives a lot of truth about the deception that's going on with food. So that entitles with the show too, that health is wealth. Before they used to have those shows like Unwrapped, Chopped, and what's another one? Like Food Factory. They would show you how they just make the food and what's in it. But now they're telling you these loopholes and the things that they're doing, these conniving lies. Like olive oil. Don't you know that there's a mafia in olive oil? Anything considered extra virgin olive oil with these different brands, there's no regulations for it. Meaning this, if it has at least 1% of the real extra virgin olive oil, is considered olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Did you know that? So it's very important to know what you're getting. Therefore, they'll take that 1% of olive oil and then they'll mix like 80% canola oil, a portion of palm oil, olive oil, sapphire oil, and you think it's the good stuff, but it's not. Health is wealth. It's very important that we reconstruct our temple and that we continuously do maintenance, not just because it's 2018, but because we need to. Stay tuned for the next show, and be safe out there. keep the Most High first. Love you much.